noise that you'd expect to hear in a public library. So it's a
Well, I want to sleep, I want to sleep. It's not be in a public library.
I challenge anyone to argue that. The noise impact in daytime transport is not going to adversely affect you. The World Health Organization noise level for uninterrupted sleep at night inside a bedroom is 35 decibels. We could not get this room quiet enough to achieve 35 decibels all the time we're in it. And that is the modelled noise impact of the transport route at certain locations, as listed down there.
I understand what you're saying about the night, that you're not working in the night.
But these are daytime levels.
Yeah, and I can tell you now is that there was a survey done, a noise survey done, about the amount of traffic coming through Wattsville and up to Cwmfelinfach to 9 Mile Point, and it was higher than that.
Oh, absolutely be higher than that. And the reasons why, it's right outside your doors. And noise, surely that noise doesn't stay the same the further away you go.
No, in this valley, right, and this is why it was opposed against the recycling plant going down there. It's like a micro system, so any dust, any noise just reverberates and hangs in that valley, because of the way the valley is. It just hangs in that valley. So if a lorry comes up this road and you're on a Sawi walk over there, you can hear it just as much as you are over here.
And the fire alarms go off,
and it just vibrates. And I don't think that your survey is taking that into account.
I don't doubt the valley echoes. I really don't doubt the valley echoes. I mean, the whole route itself, there were parts of it that with trees, there were parts of it that aren't. Okay, there were parts of it that are closer, there were parts of it that are further away. The furthest part away from residential property is 900 metres, which is nearly a kilometre. I challenge anyone to hear a lorry with the background ambient noise.
Yes.
Do they sound as loud as
When they take the body on them mountain. And it does. It's louder than what you think.
Oh yeah.
You'll be surprised.
Okay, so listen, I'm happy
personally, I think you need to do this survey.
Can I say something?
Over there.
Yeah, right. We've had this challenge a lot, particularly from the Valley community. 100% we've had this challenge a lot. Now, in my experience of a lot of projects, sometimes the perception of what the effects are more worrying than what they actually are, right? So listen. So what we had to do, we had a meeting this morning because we came up with what we thought was a good idea. So we thought, why don't we run a truck up there and have you all stood outside listening for it? You can see it, you can see it, you can have a look at it. We'll use the same truck, we'll send it empty up and empty down. We'll send it full up and full down. So you can see a truck that's full and a truck that's empty. You can see the noise effects directly on this community. Now, I think that is a really useful thing to do.
You should measure it as well, just so it's logged as a
There's apps on your phone that you can measure
control.
We'll have hundreds.
If it's that quiet, why don't you just run it through Bedwas? If they're that quiet, why don't you just run it through Bedwas? Why does it have to come this way?
Well, so the closest residential property to the closest point of the haul route is around 240 metres. Okay, 240 to 260 metres. I measured it on Google. The furthest point away is nearly a kilometre. It's actually 960 metres. The furthest property from the haul route in these communities, right? So the closest is 240. Call it. Yeah, it's actually 240, 260. The furthest away is nearly a kilometre. Yeah. The closest property to all the other routes is 10 feet.
Not the one that hasn't been built yet.
Which one?
The LDP.
Which one?
The one next to the colliery site goes between Bragaracca and Tretomas.
It goes straight through a residential community, albeit through green fields. But it goes past the green. It was built specifically to take the capacity. No, it was proposed. It was proposed for the development of Bedwas Colliery only.
Yeah, we'll build it. No, it wasn't. Take it.
So,
which way?
It was proposed for that development specifically.
Which way are you taking the lorries though? Because if you go the other way towards Cwmfelinfach and you go up over the hill, you're straight on a B road.
Yeah.
You're saying that you want the other traffic on the mountain.
no.
If you've got bikes up there, motorbikes up on the mountain there, I live on this road here. How far is that road from that mountain?
Yeah, no.
Give me a rough idea.
Yeah,
How
so
far is the road from
because they all want, they're going up and down that tip line.
On the floor.
Yeah, but how far is that road from that mountain?
Yeah. So guys, can I just carry on?
Yeah.
Guys, please.
Go on.
Please, we've told you what we're going to do with the live testing, right? We're just trying to find a haulage company at the moment that is happy to work with us on that live testing. We also need to speak with NRW to ask them if we can do that live test because they own the road. It's an existing forest track, as we know. It has been used by NRW as a haul route, albeit very, very occasionally. We're talking very small amounts over a period.
NRW don't own all the road.
The Cwmfelinfach own a part of it as well.
Yes, yeah, so
absolutely.
in your document, what you said there isn't correct.
Well, I've just said that who the owners are. Yeah, absolutely.
Excuse me.
Because the reason I haven't said that, sir, is next question go, well, which bit's Cwmfelinfach, which bit's NRW? Yeah, everyone else doesn't. I'm trying to move forward with getting onto all the contentious issues that we've had.
Saying that they are wrong in what they were saying.
Right. So that route, so can I just say, I can tell you exactly why I can't use that route. Do you want me to go through the detail of it? Yeah, 100%. Yeah, guys.
Can I just say?
No, this guy's talking. I've got to speak to this guy, you next, yeah? So, to deliver that route, I need compulsory purchase powers because it's private land. I'm a private organisation. I do not have the ability to use compulsory purchase powers. Council. This is not their project. This is our project. They need justification to use compulsory purchase. I'm a compulsory purchase surveyor, by the way. They need a root cause to use this compulsory purchase powers. And what will an inspector say at compulsory purchase hearing? Are there any alternatives that will stop you compulsory purchasing private land, particularly a green, which it is an established green, and particularly greenbelt land, which it is? And we'll be able to say, there is an alternative, but it's awful. But it's awful, we don't like it, we don't like it. We would prefer not to use this route, trust me. We would prefer the easiest route in the world to use. And there are no easy routes here, no easy routes. So we have looked at various options around these options. The issue that we have, the big one, we're a private organisation. We aren't the council. No, the council is the landowner. The council, the partnership we have with Cwmfelinfach is they've said, we'll lease you the land, can you take the liability and take all the risk? That's the extent of the partnership.
And we've got,
Say yes if they... Sorry, I mean...
Can we move on now?
So what's wrong with a real
Come on.
Oh, I mean...
We shoot him now. Go on.
I could go through...
No.
I could bore you all for 40 minutes on that very one question. So first of all, so one second. The railhead is private. Yeah? The railhead is currently at capacity by Hanson, who own that railhead. We cannot use that railhead without their permission. I've worked with Hanson on a project, who are the main cement supplier to that project. They've just sued that project. Now, that is the attitude that you get from private organisations when you're trying to say to them, can you do me a favour, can you slow down delivery of your stuff so that we can get coal then?
Go north on the same disused railway line. Hanson only come up as
it's a single railway line, so it does restrict the use because you can't have two-way running. There's no crossovers along the railway route. We don't have permission to use it. They don't have to give us permission to use it, and we've got to get to it anyway to use it as a route. To get to it, I need to exercise compulsory purchase powers, which I don't have. So I cannot deliver that route anyway, because I can physically not exercise compulsory purchase powers. So yeah, it's your next, yeah.
While this is all going ahead, while we're doing the mounds, can you tell me, is the people's air quality going to be at a safe level at all times?
Can we go back for a second, Jazz?
Is the air quality going to be at a safe level at all times?
So we've got...
We're in a valley here, so
understand completely. One of the we'll come on to the questions. But one of the questions that keeps getting levelled is, we aren't going to be able to have our windows open, all the cars are going to be covered in dust from the haul route and from the operations, there's going to be coal dust everywhere, and everybody's going to start suffering from chest conditions. These are representations I've had, right? These are your concerns. These are your concerns. Sorry?
There are chemicals and gases within that tip.
I mean, I'd be a bit more concerned about the massive traffic going outside, because one of the big killers... Let me come on to it. So we look, when we were assessing air quality, guys, when we were assessing air quality, again, it's a standard methodology that we use. Yeah. The air quality we've seen here, based on the existing quality of the air, and the impact we'll have based on the existing quality of the air, is a negligible effect using that standard methodology. Guys, can I environmental consultant just explain a little bit?
I'm not supporting him, right? I am not, because I've got a million questions I want to ask myself. But can we just let him, like he said at the start, just do his presentation, and then we'll ask him at the end, because we're not getting the information to be able to fire back.
Yep.
Yeah?
So we're going to come on to the next part. So air quality was one of the things we assessed. And this is a summary that's extracted directly from our environmental statement. Feel free to read the methodology. Feel free to what we've seen all the main impact areas that might be, and feel free to look at what the conclusion of that was. And feel free to challenge it. Absolutely. And the last thing is, on the balance of all the impacts, because don't forget we are delivering a major civil engineering project, so there is disruption. We never ever said there's not going to be disruption, and we try and minimise what that disruption is. But at the end of all of this, when we've reinstated all of this land, the benefits, the local impact benefits post-remediation are positive rather than negative. That's when it's finished.
Yeah, for Bedwas, not for us.
And even in your own report it says for Bedwas.
It's for Bedwas community, not for us. And we've got all the disruption over here, and the whole roads and everything else.
Well,
and wide structural valleys, when it's their tip. I understand it's unsafe and it needs to be done, but why is our valley got to be involved?
So can we come on to the whole route first?
Yeah.
Yeah. So the whole route first. So Jazz, do you want to come on? So, I've delivered a number of haul routes for the various projects I've delivered throughout Wales, Scotland and England before, yeah? Where you're using a public road as a haul route, yeah? Where you're using over a certain amount of vehicles and where those vehicles are over a certain weight, you have to get the permission of the Highway Authority, yeah? You can't just start using large lorries down a public road on a major project without first of all agreeing that with the Highway Authority. All the four routes, except the Forest Road, are all Highway Authority roads at some point in their existence. Now, Highway Authorities provide guidance across the UK, so across Wales, across Scotland and across England. There are normally kind of rules of thumb when projects like ours consider haul routes. The first one is we must try and minimise where possible the impact on local residents, the direct impact on local residents. And that really means direct impact is try and drive past as few directly out front their front door as you possibly can. So that's the first presumption. The second presumption is minimise where you can use of local roads and try where you can to tie in to strategic haul routes or strategic lorry routes. Because again, if you're using a haul road, on local roads, it could affect the capacity of that road and increase the congestion on that road. The third thing we have a problem with is if you are proposing the haul road on a single lane public road, I have not yet, through any project I've worked on, managed to deliver, without massive amendments to those roads, keeping the roads as they are, I haven't been able to deliver a haul route that's a two-way haul route down a single lane road. All of the options, all four options are public highways, all four other options are public highways, all four of them are single roads, all four of them go past residential communities, with the exception of the Bryn Meadows route, which goes past a much smaller residential community. One of the other routes is a dead end at Mountain Road. Another one of the other routes at the end of Tyrconnell Lane has two bridges that send us through the Sunnybank estate, which we can't actually get round with a lorry, so it scuppers that route. Another route, which is the other available, Bedwas and Thomas, goes past the primary school, a church, and past about 300 or 400 other properties right next to them. Most of those properties have a pavement front door on one side of the road. So me knowing what these normal requirements are, me knowing what these normal requirements are, and me understanding what approvals I need to get, and me understanding that I cannot deliver this project without a haul route. I cannot deliver this project and underwrite CCBC's liability without being able to get that coal off. So for me, I have, unfortunately, as a project promoter, I have to recognise the effect on all communities when assessing my haul roads. I have to look at all the public roads that we might use, the size of those public roads, the noise it will make if we're driving directly past residential properties, and I have to make a decision on what I think the most appropriate or least impactful haul route is based on a number of different factors. And these are all the haul routes that we looked at as options to get this spoil off the site. Now, as Steve mentioned, in 2010 we said it couldn't be got off the site. Yeah, it couldn't be got off the site. Another preference that local authority, highway authorities like is segregated